is fascinating. So this next image has been taken from that same WorldNet Daily article, and it is a chariot wheel. There's kind of an artist impression of it, but you can see this coral has kind of formed around this chariot wheel, and it's actually been verified as an ancient Egyptian chariot wheel. They've also found it in conjunction with other pieces of ancient chariots and hundreds of skeletal remains of both humans and horses. They found these remains on the seabed of the Red Sea, in between those two pillars. So it's fairly safe to say that that is a point where you have parted the Red Sea and allowed Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Okay, so that is one fascinating find. It's nothing to do with the Revelation 12 sighting, but it does back up the same scripture that has been quoted in the article that I want to talk about next, which looks at the most, or probably, yeah, I would say the most famous landmark in Egypt, which is, of course, the Great Pyramid. Could be borderline toss-up between the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx, but I would say the Great Pyramid is what everybody thinks of when you say the word or the name Egypt. And we are going to look at that next. But I just wanted you to know that the context behind that phrase in the scripture about there being a pillar on the border of Egypt. We're going to look next at something which I think you will find as fascinating as I did. Okay, brothers and sisters, we're going to move on now to the main article which I wanted to share with you, which I found when I was researching the Revelation 12 sign that we believe is going to appear in the heavens around about September the 23rd. And as you can see, this, apart from the fact that I am the kind of person who has far too many tabs open on my iPad, the article is entitled Signs of the End, Oracle in Stone. So it quotes the two bits of scripture there, but unfortunately, because I've got it in reader mode to make it bigger text for you to see in the video, it's not quite displaying properly. I will link the article below though, so that you can go and have a look at it on the website. But I just wanted to share with you the gist of this article. So the first thing we need to get our heads around is the timeline, because that obviously makes a big difference to the interpretation of the evidence. And the proposal here is that the pyramids were built before Noah's flood, and that is an important context to know, that it is built before the flood period, and so it's also built before Moses. If my biblical genealogy is playing fair with me, I believe that to be the case. If it's before Noah, it is also before Moses. That being said, we're going to look onto the pyramid itself. Okay, so the thing I wanted to share with you is this thing called the Christ angle. Now, Christ is based on the Greek word Christos. It means the anointed one. Similar wording to the Greek word, Christos, and the Hebrew Messiah, I believe it's pronounced, which obviously we know as Messiah. Now, it's not a title that is unique to our Messiah. It can be applied falsely to other people. People can be seen as messiahs, saviours, you know, if they do things for their people. But obviously, we have a special believe, special connection to Yahushua, and that is where that title comes from. So the Christ angle is 26.3 degrees, or more precisely 26 degrees 18 minutes and 9 seconds. It is the angle of the ascending and descending passageways inside the Great Pyramid. Here's the interesting part. Because we know the ancient Egyptians were great mathematicians and architects, etc., etc. But the reason it's called the Christ angle is because this angle, if taken north of east from the side of the Great Pyramid, site of the Great Pyramid, will bisect Bethlehem. Remind you, this thing was built before the flood, before Moses, long before the Hebrews came into Egypt, and it still dissects Bethlehem. Now it doesn't stop there. If it says here, if one were at Bethlehem at the time of Christ's birth, i.e. approximately 2017 years ago, give or take a few, and looked up at the lower belt star of Orion, otherwise known as Al-Nitak, which means the wounded one, at meridian, the angle of the star above the horizon would be the same angle as the Great Pyramid itself, 51 degrees and 51 minutes. That is, I find, absolutely fascinating, and we know from what the smart folks with the astrology software are telling us about the skies in September, that we are going to see the same kind of alignments, obviously with the exception of Jupiter staying in the womb of Virgo. The rest of the sky is going to be the same as it was at the time of Yahushua's birth. So this is going to be the same. If you stand in Bethlehem on September 23rd, you're going to see the same angles that you would have done when Yahushua was born. I find it absolutely fascinating. I've no idea how it fits into the Revelation 12 prophecy. I just thought I would add it into the mix. I will, as I say, I will leave the links to the article because I do recommend you read it yourself. It is kind of a complicated concept to get your mind around. There are some helpful diagrams on the page with the article. So I do recommend that you look into it further, pray on it, and if you have any insight into how this fits in, do let me know, because I find it fascinating. And I just hope that it's for people who like tangible evidence. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Otherwise I hope that it has blessed you anyway. And do stay strong, brothers and sisters. Time is short. We do not know the hour or the day, but we do know that we are in the season. And it's got to be soon. And just stay strong. And stay in prayer and stay strong with each other. Let's not get divided over things like how to pronounce certain words or names. It's not time for the body of true believers to get divided. It is time for us all to stand together against the great deception which we can see beginning to happen around us, or it's been happening for a long time. If you believe that the strong delusion is the evolution lie, and let's just stay together and help each other through this, and help our brothers and sisters return to the Elohim of Abraham, Jacob and Isaac. So that wraps it up from me today, and if you're willing, I will post another video soon. Other than that, stay safe, stay blessed, and see you soon when the